Growing up, there was a woman who would always walk her dog around the street that I lived on. When I think back, I always remember being struck by the difference in size between the woman and the dog. I remember her being quite small, and the dog was an Irish Wolfhound, and in my mind's eye, I remember it being taller than her. Looking back now, it's hard to believe that that could be true, but sure, it makes a good story, right? What always struck me though was that this woman would walk this huge dog on a lead around the streets every day, and the dog would trot along at her heels. But I always remember thinking, if that dog wants to go somewhere, it's absolutely going to go. That lead and that tiny little lady isn't going to be able to stop it. I was always surprised not to see her dragged along by this enormous dog holding on for dear life as she was powerlessly pulled along in its wake. Thinking back now, this image is a pretty good example for how our thoughts can sometimes feel like they are in control of us. What we think about sets the tone of our mood, how we're feeling, and how we relate to the people around us, and it sometimes feels like we don't have a choice in any of this. The thoughts are like the wolfhound that's tugging on the lead as we are pulled along after, helpless to choose any differently. We don't like this feeling of being dragged along, so we try different ways to manage them. Sometimes our response is to think more by overanalyzing and trying to come up with an answer or a solution to whatever we're thinking about, imagining that that's going to slow or stop the thoughts. Or else we maybe ignore the thoughts, we drop the lead, trying to shut down the thoughts by turning to things like maybe alcohol or substances or other behaviours to distract or to quiet the thoughts. The problem with this response is that even though they might disappear for a while, they'll always come back again. Where we want to get to instead isn't getting rid of the thoughts, but the place where, while the thoughts do impact us, rather than having the impact of the wolfhound that pulls us off our feet, they're almost more like a sausage dog maybe. We hear them and we feel their impact, but what we do with those thoughts is in our power. Rather than being dragged around, we stay in control and in charge. We decide what we're going to do with those thoughts. If you feel like your thoughts and your emotions are just like that dog, taking you for a ride around the block, know that all hope is not lost. Through using tools like building your awareness, realizing and practicing the power of choosing your thoughts and building a small or a simple mindfulness practice, you can take back control of your thoughts, of your choices, and ultimately of your life.